when I come here, I share a personal story. A personal story that is painful, but a personal story that is also hopeful, that brings out the goodness of God through people, the love of God through people. Because, I mean, as you would have known a little bit about my life, I am who I am today, not because of my own determination, might, hard work, intelligence, or anything. I am here just because people were nice to me. People were good to me. I had no parents, but I had a little snack from this little box from people of this country through Rice Bowl, CRS Rice Bowl 40 years ago. And that little snack was brought from this country across the oceans, the deserts, to a little small tiny village in the middle of nowhere. And I got tricked to go to school because of the snack that this little box offered in my little village school. That little snack meant everything to me. If it was never offered in that village school, I would never have gone near that school, and I would never have been to school, and I probably shouldn't be sitting here. And my whole family, the story will be different. So I come here as a way, generally, my message is one of gratitude. It is one of thanksgiving for just sometimes a little snack, just a little act of kindness can make such a great difference in my life and in the lives of so many other people. The proceeds from the Rice Bowl, Lenten Rice Bowl journey, usually 25% of it stays in the local diocese, and 75% of that goes to CRS and is sent overseas as and where it is most needed. The philosophy being that, you know, I have seen poverty in Africa. I have seen poverty in some of the countries in which CRS works. I have seen poverty in my own country. I have suffered poverty myself. I have lost 2 of my little siblings because we had so little to eat. But I've equally seen poverty here in this country. And I've been to places in this country where children also have to go to school because that's the only place they find lunch. So there are hungry children everywhere, both in Africa and even in this country. So the idea that those proceeds from Rice Bowl, it's not either overseas, either my country, or it's all of us. It is usually so hard to learn to put this box together. It took me, assembling this box is like rocket science to me. And I've taken 3 years and I still haven't learned how to assemble this box well. But I just want to say, usually when you struggle like that to assemble this box every Lent, what you are actually doing is that you are assembling many, many broken lives around the world. It's many broken lives. It's not just a box. Behind this box are real people and real faces. And for me, it is a way that we can show that beautiful love for one another. My whole life has been a journey of providence because the lines in my life were so crooked. The lines in my life were so crooked. No parents, no siblings. And yet, I had a little snack. And there were many times I didn't even know who God was because I was not born into a Catholic family. I was traditional. But even there are many times I have asked so many questions. I assume I asked God many questions, like, why don't I have parents? Why did you take away my parents? But I came to realize as I grew and deepened my understanding, after I got baptized and all that, I realized God didn't take away my parents, they just died of natural causes. And when I cried for parents, I think God cried with me. And in place of my parents, He puts wonderful people in my life to take care of me and help me out. And I ended up with a scholarship to do a master's in public administration in California. And after that, I did that in 2 years, and I went back home. And I remember when they asked, many friends in California said, why are you going home? And I had many friends at home who said, why are you coming home? And I said, because it's home. And I don't believe God blessed me to that point just for keeps. He blessed me so that I can pay it forward. And I think the best way to pay it forward was to go back to that little village and that little community and country and find ways and means of giving back to my community. The lines were crooked, but God was able to ride straight on those crooked lines, using people. And when God blesses you, he blesses you for a reason. He blesses you so that you can bless someone, especially someone who is less fortunate. I see my whole life as a life of grace. I don't deserve it, but God made it happen. We all have crosses in our lives. Everybody has a cross. Maybe some crosses are heavier than others, or some may have 1 or 2 or 3 crosses. But sometimes when you see another person's cross and you look at it and listen to it and examine it, you would think, oh, it makes your cross less lighter. And if at all that fails, we just look at the cross of Jesus. And I think the cross of Jesus is heavier than any of us, but he did carry it all right. We are all created in his image and likeness, and he loves us to death. That's the way I see that. When you can be brought to a point where you realize that it's a blessing, it's just, you don't merit it, it's just a blessing, that is the time you are moved to understand that you are supposed to bless other people, to share those blessings. We are just stewards of those blessings called to share. And I'm hoping that at the point when we can say to God the parable of the talents, that we can say, he gave me 3 talents, and here, God, I made 3 extra. Or he gave me 2 and I made 2 extra. And I pray always that we don't become the third laborer who said, you gave me 1 and I know you reap where you have not sown, and this, and so I buried it. And that will not be good. We are stewards, and we are called to keep these talents, put them to good use, and we can give a good answer to our Lord Jesus and God someday.